Thank you, thank you. That was fantastic. Morning is broken. Oh, just taking a moment, and I'm catching my breath after that beautiful meditation and song and everything that's come before us already today. I just want to make a mention. You might have noticed on your seat there is a little gift for you this morning. Hold on to that. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. So I've been sitting with two things this week. The word love and the word doubt. And I think they actually might be the same thing. You know, it has been one of those weeks where there's lots happening all around me, and I keep coming back to the women who shaped me in my life. The ones who showed me what it looks like to keep going, even when I'm not sure that I can. So I want to start off by telling you about my grandmother, Josephine Cassidy Henschel. So Cassidy is my daughter's name, and my grandmother Josephine Jo is my middle name. So growing up, okay, ready for this? I was Tammy Jo. But so it's a lovely tribute with my grandmother, and the thing is, she was one of the original Powder Puff Girls. She was in the 40s, had her little sports car, and used to drive at breakneck speeds down Marine Drive against other women. And she was racing cars, and they had absolutely no business doing that on Marine Drive. I mean, back in the day, it was a much quieter street then. But according to everybody watching them, they were a little nervous. But she was also one of the first women realtors back in before 1960. And my grandfather, he was a heavy-duty mechanic, so he worked out of town a lot. And there were times my grandfather would come home to find out that his house had been sold and they were moving into a new one. That all happened while he was away. And the thing is, my grandmother, she didn't have a handbook. She just went about her business and doing it. Now, here's what I want you to know about her, is that she did doubt herself. She really did. She doubted that she was more than what she was. She was a woman in the 50s choosing a path that nobody had cleared for her yet. But something in her kept believing in more than the doubt. And what she thought she believed in more than the doubt was the possibility. The doubt didn't stop her. It actually propelled her forward to push her further. I mean, she didn't have the language that we maybe use here on a Sunday morning. She was just living it. And the doubt was not the obstacle. For her, the doubt was the gateway. So before we go too much further, I want you to do something with me. Just maybe close your eyes, if you're willing, or just soft gaze, and think of a name. Think of just one, a woman who showed up for you when she didn't have to. And it doesn't have to be your mother. It doesn't have to come from your biology. Just someone who chose you. And if you're willing, I'm going to ask you to say that name out loud right now. And on Zoom, please put it in the chat. So just ready, 1, 2, 3, say your name. Marge. Right, now hold that name, because we'll come back to that a little bit later again too. And what I want to say is, I know that Mother's Day, you know, I was doing this talk and realizing how complicated Mother's Day can be. For some of us, it's pure joy. I'm going to see my children later. But for some of us, it's grief. Some of us are missing a mother today. Some of us are estranged, and some of us never had the mother you needed and have been quietly carrying that for years. Some of us are mothers lying awake right now wondering if we're doing it right. And some of you are the invisible mothers, the ones who never had children of your own, but you mothered everyone in your orbit for as long as anyone can remember. Today is for all of you. And here's the other thing about this day, that sometimes, I don't know about you, but I carry a lot of expectations about what Mother's Day should look like, about how people should show up, about what we deserve or didn't get, about what we wish would have been different. Like, I know for me today, my son went out of town, and I'm like reminding him, it's Mother's Day. But it's being in that place, though, where I can let that go and be okay, have a great time. We'll get together when you get back. It's not about the day. It's about the intention. It's about the relationship. It's about the commitment to each other. So it's letting go, because when I can let go of that expectation, you know what I get? I get a bit of freedom. Because when I'm feeling into that, when it's not going the way I want it to go, the way I expect it to go, then I have that story going in my brain. I don't know about any of you, if you ever have little stories going on, but when I can stop that story and just be present to what is right now, that's when I step outside of the pain. It's my thoughts that can cause the suffering rather than just being where I am. So today I'm trying to stay present whether my son comes or doesn't come. I know my daughter and her boyfriend will, and there may be some pickleball happening later today, which is awesome. But I know for each of you too, whatever your day unfolds, just holding that in your heart and being present with whatever it is. Because the divine feminine does not look like a Hallmark card. It looks like a woman making a decision with no guarantee. It looks like someone who doesn't have the answers and shows up anywhere. It looks like who I said in my name is my Aunt Marge. When I was 5, my mother came down with ovarian cancer, and my great Aunt Marge, who lived in Seattle, took me in while my mother was doing her treatments and working through things. And now my Aunt Marge was one of those women that never had children of her own. She wasn't able to do that. But she mothered my mother, she mothered me, and she loved my mother like a daughter, and she loved me like I was her own. So I went down, started kindergarten in Seattle, and every morning I'd race up the kitchen stairs because there was a cereal bowl waiting for me. I don't know if I've told you this story before, but underneath the bowl every morning was a present. It could be something simple as an orange, an apple, some grapes. It didn't matter to me, because what it told me was somebody cared, somebody thought about me, and I knew I wasn't alone. Now, my uncle, he worked the night shift, and he was another heavy-duty mechanic. And my Aunt Marge would stay up late, keeping her own rhythm, because she was always, why she did a lot of this is because she wanted to sleep in the morning as well. And I got to watch Scooby-Doo, my favorite. But they had a marriage. It was one of those marriages that was a great love affair. You know, that kind, you feel it when you're in the room, that they just adored each other. And here I was, 5 years old, living right in the middle of that. There was never anything fancy under the bowl. It was just something small that said, I see you. I know you're not making sense of the world right now, but I'm thinking about you. And there's actually some science around kindness and witnessing. Because as I raced up every morning, I witnessed the love in the bowl. and in the marriage, and a woman who had no children of her own, but who chose to mother a child in front of her anyways. That love, it reaches out past the person that it touched in the first place. So if I witness somebody doing some kindness for someone, that then shows up in other ways in my life. Because I've witnessed it, I've experienced it, and then I pass that along. And there's actually science based around that witnessing kindness can shift our lives and shift the way that we interact with others. And that was the thing that I witnessed with my Auntie Marge, doing the way that she mothered me, even though she wasn't my mother. And I've brought that into my life. And I used to sometimes, I didn't do it all the time for my kids, but every once in a while I'd remember that, especially if I knew they were feeling down or there was something that I wanted to do a little something special. But she gave me a model for what it looks like to show up when you have no idea what you're doing. And I want to be honest, so she gave me that model of mothering. But I'm sure she had doubt as well about where she was. And it comes to me that it's doubt. It's such a thing, I think, that each of us live with every day. It's not the big, kind, but it's the personal doubt. The one that whispers, you're not enough, you don't belong, who do you think you are? It's that little voice. But Ernest Holmes writes this: all that we consciously know, say or think, feel or believe, hope or long for, fear or doubt, is some reaction of our self-knowing mind. All of it, including the doubt. That's on page 122 of The Science of Mind if you want to look it up later. But what does that mean in plain language? It means that your doubt is not outside of God. It is not evidence that you have lost your faith. It is the mind of spirit doing what minds do. Noticing, questioning, reaching. Your doubt is part of the self-knowing mind at work. It's a thought. Just a thought. And here's the thing about thoughts. They can grow, or we can grow past them. So when your doubt starts to feel bigger than your faith, it is not because God got smaller. It's because your concept of God may have gotten smaller than your problem. It is because your concept of God may have gotten smaller than your problem. So, if you can imagine God, or the divine or universal, I'm using that word today, that is not the God that it is. Because our God, the divine, the universe, the essence of whatever it is bigger than anything that we can conceive. And it is everything all at once. So when someone says to you, well, God is all there is, and you might feel it in your whole body and say, yes, or some of you may say, really? I'm not so sure about that. And that's okay, because then what it is, God is growing. That is faith moving, even in our body when we're not sure about it. And that is when we move through the doubt and we grow something bigger. We grow into what my grandmother did. We grow into the possibility that that may be the truth. That there is a possibility that God is all there is. And that's where we start to shift. The shift isn't about forcing ourselves to believe harder. The shift is finding the next biggest thing that you can actually say yes to. The next real yes. Not the one you're supposed to feel, right? But it is the yes that is actually available to you right now. and Ernest Holmes says is another way on page 427. He says, never limit your view of life by any past experience. You know, I used to think that meant other people's experience, their failures, their fears about what is possible. But it turns out it's my own. So it's moving past that. It's moving into that next expansion. Now, I started kindergarten in Seattle, grade 5. Then I came back and my mom was still sick, so I lived with friends and went to school in Coquitlam. Then I went to school in New West. Then I went to school in Port Coquitlam. Then I went to school in Cloverdale. And so I moved a lot growing up. And, you know, a few things stick in my mind when I think about it is that in grade 6, I lost my best friend, Sony, because we didn't have social media like we do now. So at grade 6, I didn't really understand about how letter writing worked maybe as much as I should have, and we lost touch. And then grade 8, when I moved again, my dear friend Dorothy Smith, okay, try and find Dorothy Smith on Facebook right now, let me tell you. There's a lot. And then in grade 10, my first love, I moved away from him as well. You know, so it's all those things, all those moves put me in a place of losses, those place of moving away, of did I belong? So I made a vow that when I had children of my own, let me tell you, I was never going to move them. They were going to stay in one school, have their friends for a lifetime, and that was it. But guess what happened? My son moved in grade 5, same as me. My daughter moved in grade 6. Then she moved in grade 10. Then she actually even homeschooled for a year in grade 4. My son moved again in grade 7. My son moved again in grade 10. And both of my kids moved in grade 10. And that was a pivotal move for me, the grade 10 year. And so, you know, it was interesting how I said, no, I'll never do that to my children because I know how painful it was. I know how hard it was. But I did it. And was there a lot of doubt in that? Let me tell you, yes. Am I ruining their lives? Am I changing them? But those things, it was the way the world was unfolding at the time, and it seemed like the best idea. So I went with it. So what that landed with me and that I've been carrying since I've been 5 is that I promised to protect my kids from something, but then I handed it to them anyways. And that was a hard thing to sit with for me. And underneath it all the moves and the losses and the vow that I broke, there was a deeper doubt. One that I don't always say out loud is one about I doubted that I ever would belong anywhere. And that has been mine, that I've carried, the one that whispers to me about arriving somewhere and not knowing everybody, being the new kid on the block all the time. And I still work that out in my life. I'm still working through it. But the thing that I've noticed and what I've done and built my life is I became a minister. And what am I doing here? I'm building community. I'm building that place where I belong and where I hope that each of you feel that you belong. That you don't have to be the new kid on the block, that you can show up wherever you are and whatever's going on in your life and be real and authentic. So I'm still working on that, and this is where I'm building this room. And at CSL White Rock, I came up with a slogan, so to speak, or a tagline, and I realized it's not a tagline, it's a testimony to my life. And I always say we're here at CSL White Rock and we're a connected belonging. And that has been my wound, I realized. That piece where I wanted to connect and belong. So I mean, I've been the new kid. I've been in the room where there's losses. And so when I show up here and I work at showing up as my authentic self, I'm also asking you to be brave and to show up as your authentic self. Because I'm asking you to trust what it is that we're building here together, this community, this place of belonging. It is a room built on belonging is only as real as the truth people are willing to bring to the room. So I want to ask you something. What part of yourself do you usually leave at the door when you walk into the spiritual community? What part of yourself do you leave at the door when you show up in this community? Yeah. That's the personal stuff. That's the doubt. The thing that whispers to your health, I can't show up this way. People won't accept me. But that's the place that I'm asking you to be brave. Because this is the safe place. This is the place that I can show up. I'm saying I can show up. You guys see me up here showing up, and hearing my stories. But it's that place. It's that everyday doubt. And so I'm picking that up. And the thing is, the people who are new here or have just shown up or have just come back, everybody here is teaching each other. We're all teaching each other how to be and how to accept and how to love one another. And that it's the ones who haven't learned to hide behind the right spiritual language yet that sometimes teach me the most. Right? They're showing me doubt does not have to be a secret. That you can say, I don't know, and still show up. That is the divine feminine that's flowing in every direction, not just downward, but through generations, upward, sideways, and through community. So here's what I want you to walk out with today, just 3 things. The loneliest thought is the one that you keep to yourself. When doubt whispers, maybe you don't belong, and you stay silent with it, that is loneliness doing the work. When you say it out loud in a room that was built for exactly that, that's when something shifts. You're not alone anymore. And that's not a small thing. That's everything. And 2, you don't need a crowd to feel connected. You need one moment of truly being seen. My Aunt Marge didn't fill a stadium. She put something small in a bowl for one child, one person, one moment at a time. And that breaks, again, that loneliness and knows about belonging. And the 3rd thing I want to leave you with is doubt is the gateway to belonging, yours and everyone else's. When you show your real self, your doubting self, in a room that was built for that, 2 things happen. You stop being alone, and the person next to you can witness and feels less alone as well. That's how belonging is built. Not by having it all together, but showing up every time. So remember that name we said at the beginning of the morning? The woman who showed up for you when she didn't have to? She didn't have a handbook either. She just showed up with something small and true and said, I see you, I'm here. So that's your practice this week. Find one person, maybe in this community, maybe in your life, and one person that you can trust just that little bit more, and tell them one true thing that you usually hide behind your mask. Not a win, not a certainty, but something real. And of course, pick somebody that you're going to trust. I know you're in this room is a safe place, but if you go outside of this room, make sure that it's somebody you know that will hold what you have to say. So now you have that little packet. So that in that packet is wildflower seeds. And wildflowers, guess what? They don't need to be perfect. They don't have to have perfect conditions to grow. They just find a way through the rocky soil, on hillsides and in places nobody expects them. That is you. That's you in this room. So this week, plant it somewhere. You can spread it out in a field. You can put it in a pot and watch it grow yourself. And if you do grow it in a pot, tend it, maybe trust it. And every time something blooms, remember that you belong. And remember that doubt is the gateway. It's not the obstacle. So if you're willing, I have an affirmation for you all. And I'll ask you to repeat, if you repeat after me, I share all parts of myself, including my doubt, with grace.
With grace.
So here it is. I share all parts of myself, including my doubt, with grace. Yeah, awesome work. So for the women who we come from with no handbook, the women who race cars because nobody said they could, women who took in children who weren't theirs, women who stayed up late keeping vigil for the people they loved, and at the same time made sure a little girl would wake up knowing that she was not alone. Every person in this room comes from a woman who carried doubt and showed up anyways. It may not have been the best way, but it was a way that they could show up. So our call to action this week is that when we have that doubt, just believe more in your possibility. Believe more in your possibility than your doubt. You might not always have the answers, but have that presence and know that there's something better on the other side. So let's take this into prayer. Knowing there is one life, one love, one universal divine mind. It is the source of everything that exists. It is the intelligence that knows how to grow a wildflower through the rocky soil. It is the love that stays up late and leaves something small. It is bigger than anything we can conceive, and it is here right now in this room. That is the divine. That is the divine feminine. That is the self-knowing mind at work in everything. And I am that, and you are that. Every single person in this room, in person, on Zoom, on YouTube. There is nowhere you could go where this presence is not. There is no doubt so deep that it falls outside of the divine. There is no wound so old it is beyond becoming a calling. So I speak this truth right now for everyone here. You belong, not when you have it figured out, not when the doubt is quieter, but right here, right now, exactly as you are. Your doubt is not the thing standing between you and belonging. It is the gateway into it. It is the self-knowing mind reaching for something bigger that is reaching back for you. The divine feminine within you does not require your certainty. It requires your presence, and you are here, and that is enough. It has always been enough. So none of this happens without taking a moment of quiet and knowing the truth and remembering who you are. You are the divine essence of that mind, of the divine, of love, of joy. And the love that you witness any day expands in, through, and as you. So today I'm so grateful for this truth, grateful for knowing each person here in this room and watching online, and knowing that life is good. So I'm so grateful for this time together and grateful for this teaching. And I allow these words to flow out into that law of mind that knows only right action. And it is already happening. It is already so. And I ask you to join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you. And I'll bring up Leora and Jaye to finish us off today.
Brought a song that we like to sing on occasions like Mother's Day, and it has a very witty lyric. It's called Simply I Love You. I've tried to find the words in my vocabulary, but I found that rather difficult to do. When I've completed all attempts, the only words that make sense are simply, I love you. I've exhausted my search in my dictionary, but Webster's definitions are too few. When I reach the bottom line, the only words that come to mind are simply, I love you. I know your love is unfathomable, your ways are unequivocal, your heart is undeniably true. But it's virtually impossible to find the perfect syllables to describe the indescribable you. If I had the wisdom to articulate my feelings, I'd give a lecture impromptu. But I cannot elaborate or verbalize enough to say simply, I love you. How do I love thee? I could count forever, but that would really challenge my IQ. So let me make it plain, I'll repeat myself again. Simply, I love you. I know your love is unfathomable, your ways are unequivocal, your heart is undeniably true. But it's virtually impossible to find the perfect syllables to describe the indescribable you. If I had the prudence to expound on my philosophy, I'd pen the greatest thesis of all time. Socrates would envy me, Einstein would read my mind, the multitudes would congregate to hear me pontificate. Scientists would authorize the things that I hypothesize, and Shakespeare would call me first before he wrote a single verse. But this is just me, without the ceremony. I mean it so sincerely, simply, I love you. Simply, I love you.
Oh, thank you. That's fabulous. Wow. Well, what a morning. Hopefully you guys aren't too depressed yet or anything. It's been good. It felt like I had a sad story today, but I do appreciate all the women in the room. I appreciate our volunteers today. I want to thank Severin for stepping in last minute and helping us. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Poor Michael had booked a holiday and had been training Julian, but Julian was sick today, so just the chances. So Severin stepped in, and it's fabulous. And thank you, Michelle, and thanks for all the volunteers who come and set up our chairs and get our coffee going and the tables and do so many things that we do. And Nancy? Oh my goodness, yes, thank you, Nancy, for reminding me on that. Last week, we had a fabulous Sunday. First, we had Bob doing his conscious giggles. Was that it? No. Because spontaneous giggles, well, they were conscious as well. We all giggled and had a great time. But then we had the wonderful Ranch sing in the evening, and we had such a fabulous time there. We raised over $1,000, and we are giving half of that, I believe, Nancy, to the women's shelter, the Purpose Women's Shelter, so to support women who are unhoused. So it is a fabulous thing that we did, and we got to listen to Ranj and enjoy and be in community, in belonging and connection, connected belonging. He donated his time. Yeah, wasn't that amazing? That's so fabulous that he was such a grateful. So let's support Ranj. If you maybe buy a CD online, maybe you could go see him at a show. He's always around somewhere, as I know our wonderful other musicians are as well. I don't know, Leora and Jaye, if you guys are doing anything coming up in the next little bit. No. Smithers. Well, road trip. But as we step into this place of gratitude, and it's time for we show our support for this community as well. So let's just pause for a minute, and if you feel comfortable, close your eyes and maybe reflect on what CSL White Rock means to you. What have you received from being part of this community? Maybe it's that sense of belonging or the connection. Excuse me. It's gifts given from this beautiful teaching or being immersed in the music and the message. All of these are gifts. So let us receive them with an open heart. And if you wish, if you have a gift that you'd like to give this back to this community today, I ask you to hold it to your heart and join us in our closing gratitude affirmation, and repeat after me. I am grateful for all that I have. I give in trust, and I receive in abundance.
And I receive in abundance.
I am supported.
I am supported.
And so is this community.
And so is this community.
And so it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Oh, woo! So beautiful. Thank you, Leora. So I invite our practitioners to come up. We have practitioner Georgia, Diane, and Jill with us today. So first we just say, blessing the basket, blessing all the gifts, all the givers, all the receivers. And we are grateful for the circle of giving and receiving. And so it is.
And so it is.
So there are, I don't know, I forgot to mention there, we have little joy notes in the basket. And so I like to pick one for our online community every week. And so this week, actually, Paul picked it for me. And it's a perfect. The more power one gives to his thought, the more completely he believes that his thought has power. The more power it will have. Right? The more power one gives his thought, the more completely he believes that his thought has power, and the more power it will have. Thank you. And what was yours, Jill? Yours was lovely. She was so excited I could hear her up here. Oh, listen to this one. I breathe in love, and I breathe out gratitude. That is a good one, Jill. Thank you. So our practitioners, you may be wondering if you're newer, our practitioners and our practitioners on Zoom, they are here to offer spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer if you would like. If it doesn't work for you today, we do have a box in the back that you can put a prayer request, and one of these lovely practitioners will answer that. Or you can go online. We have a request online that you can put in your prayer, and they will respond back to you. But knowing that they're here to support you in all sorts of times of your life, whether things are going great and you just want a little bit more upliftment, or you have a challenge in your life, just they will know the truth of who you are. So it's such a beautiful thing. I use my practitioner weekly sometimes when I'm going through things, but it is fabulous to have a session with them. So if everybody wants to stand up for our closing affirmation. And if you'll repeat after me, something wonderful is happening in me right now.
Something wonderful is happening in me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called the divine feminine.
It's this thing called the divine feminine.
I know it.
I know it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I express it.
I express it.
I am it.
I am it.
And so it is.
So it is.
And stay standing for our last song with Leora and Jaye.
And so this is a call and response song. I am a light. I am a light. A light in this world. I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light
In this world.
in this world.
In this world.
In this world.
In this place.
In this is.
Oh, okay, from the top. I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light
In this world.
in this world.
In this world.
In this world.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light.
I am a light
In this world.
in this world.
In this world.
In this world. This is the place. This is the time. This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it
I
shine.
see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy.
I see the joy in this world. In this world, I see the joy. I see the joy in this world. In this world, this is the place. This is the time. Let it shine. Let it shine. I'm living love every day. I'm living love every day. I'm living love every day.
I'm
Living love every day. I'm living love every day.
living love every day.
Spreading peace along the way.
Spreading
Peace along the way. Right time.
Right time.
Right place.
Right place.
Living love
Living love
every day.
every day.
We are the light.
We are the light.
We are the light.
We are are the light
in this world.
in this world.
In this world.
In this world.
We are the light.
We are the light.
We are the light.
We are the light
In this world.
in this world.
In this world.
In this world.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Shine,
This-
shine.
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let
One
it
last
shine.
time. This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Thank you, Michelle. Wonderful. Thanks, everybody. Stay for coffee. Stay for our chat. And if you're online, we'll keep you online as well if you'd like. But if you'd like to do prayer online, you can ask Catherine or Audrey. So have a wonderful Mother's Day, everyone. And don't let that doubt be an obstacle. Have a good day.